Okay, so this is the Samsung Gear 2, the Fit Gear 2. As you can see, it is a fairly large watch. That was my initial worry when I got the box, or when I took it out of the box. I was worried that, you know, it's so huge I'm going to whack it on a bunch of stuff. And as you can see, I've got a couple of dents and dings on here. I don't really hit it as much as I thought I would. But it's got some really cool features. It's got this, this watch is it's a silicone band. It's very flexible. It, however, is not very breathable. So, during the summer it does get quite a fair amount of sweat trapped under it. I bought this in July, so, I actually got to wear it through some of the summer months. But other than that, it's a really nice band. It hasn't worn out on me yet. I usually I have to take it off every day for a shower, but I usually have it set on the third one, and it's still, like, I don't know if you can hear it. It's still got an audible click when you pull it in and pull it out. It does not have any kind of problem at all. And this is the small band, and as you can see, it is still a pretty lengthy band. For my tiny wrist, I do have to have it all the way down here on the third one. So, but you can see there's still plenty of expansion room there. But the clip hasn't worn out yet. I have seen some people have to get new clips for theirs. It does pop out if you pull on it too hard. I don't want to pull on it too hard and pop it out. But I've seen some people have to get the security bands, and it's just this little band that goes on right here, and it holds it in case that pops off. But I haven't had that problem, so that's not something I'm worried about yet. So let's go over some features here. On the bottom right here, clean it off a little bit. These 2 points right here are for your charger, and you just you set it down with your buttons up, and you set it down on, it's this little stand, and you just drop it on the stand and it sucks it up. It's got a magnet on it and everything. So you don't really have to worry about that. It charges fairly simple, takes an hour and a half, and it holds that charge for about 3 days. This is about dead right now. I'm gonna have to charge it when I get home. I'm at work right now. And then in here we have the sensors, and these are your body sensors. It senses when you're wearing the watch, when you're sleeping, what your heart rate is. There's also internal GPS and pedometer tracking, which is also a pretty cool feature. Okay, let's see what, if you can see it. Okay, so I changed my watch face. Okay, so I normally have it on this watch face. I don't know how well you can see it, because I have it on a pretty low setting, and it's also, you can see I've got 13% battery left there. So, but when you get it, let's see if I can, here, hold on. Can't see it in the light. Okay, so when you get it, it'll have this one. This is the stock one that it comes with. I just didn't like it, so I changed it. You can see I have several installed. I don't know how well you can see those because my flash is shining on it. But it's fairly simple to change them. Once you can download, there's zillions of them for free. There's a few that are paid. I'll just shut off them. But there's like zillions of them that are free, and you just download them and install them, and you can choose from whatever you want. They're each a little bit different. Some of them have really cool features, but I usually have it right here on this one. This is the Back to the Future one. However, I have found out that the pedometer count is not entirely accurate. I use mine in tandem with my Samsung app, and my Samsung app usually gets a few more than my watch does. Right now my Samsung app is hovering at 2,000 and something, And this, as you can see, is only at 1,448. It's fairly accurate, but it doesn't get some of them, like if you're in the same area, you know, if you take 2 steps to the left, it doesn't really get those. Let's see, what else can I... okay, so I know I have notifications. Oh, here's a really cool feature. If I can get my camera to stop blurring. Let me see. Yeah, it's just not going to do it. Let's see. Turn back on. Okay, so it says sleep record. This is a notification that you will get every day. You can see on it that my last recorded sleep, which was this morning, was 3 hours and 14 minutes. It shows exact to the minute. It shows your restless sleep, your light sleep, and you can't really read it right there, but it says motionless, which is your REM sleep. Okay, so, and then it tells you your sleep efficiency, which mine was 94%, and it tells you your actual sleep time was 3 hours and 3 minutes for me. And then it does have this little breakdown scale here. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's really cool that it keeps track of your sleeping. It tells you a lot about how your sleep pattern is. And you can also find ways to work on that and get that. I'm going to go ahead and clear that because I don't need it. But it's all the other notifications show up here. You can program it in your phone for what notifications you want to see. This is my main watch face. You can see it has the time, the date, how many steps I've done, the distance I've gone, calories I've burned, my heart rate, how many floors I've climbed, and down here in the corner, turn it off again. Down here in the corner is my little battery power. Right now, as you can see, it is on 12%. I have not charged it. It's been 4 days. I need to charge it tonight when I get home. You have an option for up to 10 screens. This is your heart rate tracker. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get to do it using just my fingers as the background measure. See if it'll pick it up. There it goes. Nope. Try again. Clean the sensor. Okay, so we'll take and put it there. Go OK. Hold it down. There we go. And it usually takes a few seconds, and then it'll give you 82 beats per minute right now. This is part of my average resting range. But it also shows you, let's see, let's go back. So my low point for today was at 53 beats, which was while I was sleeping. And my high point was at 95. It was probably while I was playing with my kids earlier. My next screen is my steps screen. It shows me how many steps I've taken for the day. Again, like I said, the pedometer isn't exactly accurate. But it does keep pretty good track. And it has, you can check your goals and your distance. And you can check your past days on like how much you walked yesterday and the day before and all that. So you can see down here I've got 3,994 on Wednesday. I know the screen's really, really light and you guys probably can't see it very well. I'm trying to keep it out of the light so it doesn't glare off. Since it's got a low battery right now, I don't want it to die on us in the middle of this. This right here is your calorie count and your 24-hour sequence circle. It tells you what you did throughout the day, like it shows right here. I had light activity from this time. Then there was an inactive moment where I sat still, light activity, inactive, light activity. This was my sleeping time. Light activity, inactive, light, inactive, light. And then this right here, it can go all the way down to a whole month back. If I can get it to scroll down all the way. See, it goes all the way down to October 27th. And it is, today is November 25th, I believe. Yeah, Today is November 25th. So it'll go almost all the way a month back. And so, like, it's it's really cool that you can access all of that. If your watch does start to bog down, it does have a cache clear. And you can clear all of that. And it gets rid of all the information that's stored on the watch. Not the information on the app, but the information stored on the watch. Which is really cool. So, it'll speed back up after that. Let's see, push the back button. What else have I got on here? I've got, this is in tandem with the Samsung Health app. It's called Together. It shows what percentile I'm in. Oh, it just changed. Just updated. Shows what percentile I'm in among all users. And then down here, if you click on it, it shows all of the users, what the starting steps were, and all that for the day. All your calories, average burned, mileage, and all that. And that shows among all users. Now if I go back and I click, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little menu right here in the corner. It shows all users, my age group, friends, and it shows that right now I am second rank among my friends. It says 55 on my age group and 65 on all users. I know you really can't see it. This light's kind of driving me batty. I do have it on 15-second screen timeout, so that's why it keeps going out on me. But you also have the option to bring in these other screens. There's your caffeine counter, which only counts if you add the caffeine. There's your exercise monitoring. It brings up everything when you exercise. Your floors, how many floors you've climbed for the day. It does sync to it can sync to your Google Calendar, and there's a schedule page for that. Oh, I just added it. It says no events today, and then it's Saturday and the 25th and all that. And then I'll take that back off later. And then you can go through, let's see, floors. There's another screen for Together, which shows the average and yours. And then there's your water one, which is also like the caffeine. You have to add it yourself. It does not count it for you. Because unfortunately, we just don't have that kind of technology yet. Let's see if I can get it to... Okay, so go back, swipe over. To get rid of a screen, you just hold down and then push this little minus circle up in the corner and it'll take it off. So, okay, so now it's back to what I had it at before. Let's see, what other cool features can we show you? Okay, so on this notifications screen, if you hit settings, it opens up the app in your phone. I don't want to hit it because it'll stop in the middle of the recording and then I'll have to start all over again for like the 4th time. The last 2 videos were upside down. So I had to redo them again. My phone's being weird. So now I'm down to 10%, and that's after using it for a little bit. When you use it a lot, when you have the screen on a lot, it does run down pretty fast. But when you're just checking it for time, or like you get a notification or something like that, it usually lasts a while. Like I said, I haven't charged it in 4 days. I do typically, like when I take a shower, I'll take it off and drop it on the charger and let it charge for a little bit while I'm on the shower. But when it does need a full good charge, it only takes an hour and a half. And like I said, that holds for 4 days. So it's got a decent battery life. Let's see, what else can I show you? Oh, okay, so when you go to this screen, you can push down home again, which is this bottom one right here. And it gives you your settings, your music player. Your music player, you can hold up to 2 gigabytes of music. It's actually pretty cool. And it has a nice little speaker in it. It's pretty loud. I don't have any music stored, or I'd show you. You can get your 24-hour log, which was the second screen I showed you with the calorie burn and all the light exercises and all that. You can watch your exercise, your steps, your floors. So you don't need all those extra screens. They're just there. You can add them or take them away and just use this. This is the coolest feature right here. It says Find My Phone. So obviously you're going to be wearing your watch all the time. But you can push that button and then push start. I don't want to hit it because it'll stop the video, of course. But you can push that button and push start, and it'll make your phone ring. And not only does it make your phone ring, but it makes your phone ring at the loudest setting possible, which is really cool. I've lost my phone like 6 times since I've had this thing, and I've literally found it within seconds because I can track that ring across my house. So, and then it has a timer, stopwatch, the weather, and also connects to your Google Calendar there. Excuse me. See what else can the app is fairly easy to install. It syncs up really easily. Let's see, with the settings, you can go into settings. You can change your display, which has all your watch faces, whether the watch is on all the time, which is where it just shows the time all the time. I turned it off because it wasted too much battery for me. Your notification indicator, which is this little yellow or orange circle that sits up on the top if you have a notification. Your brightness, see, and you can turn this up all the way. Max for 5 minutes, which is outdoor mode. Oh, hey, look, now you guys can see it. Screen timeout, 15 seconds. It has a couple of different fonts. I haven't changed mine. I don't have a problem with the font that it came with. You have vibration options, device, double press home key. Mine doesn't do anything. Wake up gesture is on, which is where, let's see, you can do this to shut it off. See, it shuts off, and then you can take and turn it on. And then it's also got do not disturb, which is for like while you're sleeping. I don't know how well it works with your alarm. I've never used it. And then there's a date and time setting here. I don't know what that is. I've never used it. Mine just auto-sunk, and I didn't do anything with it after that. There's a screen lock. You can actually put a password on it. I don't really think it's useful, but it's there. Power saving mode, which turns off your watch face. It turns it into, it's called a grayscale. Let's see if I can actually, I'll go ahead and do that right now because, so power saving to track your activity for longer, saves battery by using a grayscale home screen. It turns off notifications, turns off Wi-Fi, limits other functions, limits the maximum performance of the gear. It basically shuts off everything and just makes it a usable watch face. And it's still tracking like your pedometer and your heart rate and all of that. And then your profile, which stores all of your information and what units you want to use, whether they be American, European, or whatever. It has health nudges. I don't have any installed on it. I turned them off because it was kind of annoying, because every time I sat still for 5 seconds, it would start going off on me. Workout detection, which I do have on, is pretty cool. It automatically detects your workout, so if you start moving around a lot, it picks it up. I was playing with one of my kids the other day, just like tossing her back on the bed, and it picked that up as a lifting exercise. It said I did like 25 reps or something like that. I don't know. It does track your heart rate. You can either do it manually or you can set it to auto. And then the auto setting has like 4 different settings. Your info and your connect to a phone. Like I said, that it all syncs pretty well. It literally took me less than 5 minutes to sync it to my phone. When I bought the watch, I was a little unsure of whether I would like it. You can see it's using battery pretty fast because I have it turned all the way up here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that down because I don't need it. Turn that back down. Actually, this is a really good time. Go ahead and put that back down to 2 because that's what I keep it on. But this is a really good time that I can show you for my, what was that under? Power saving. There it is. Power saving. Okay, so you just hit this little, let's see if I can see it, little check mark right here. It turns it on. Takes a second because it's got to shut down everything. And this is your power saving screen. Now, it has your time up there, how much battery's left, how many floors you've walked, your steps, and your calories. And then it has the button to turn it back off. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it on that because it's dying on me right now. But this is, when I bought it, I wasn't too sure about it, but the more I wore it and the more it got used to, like my everyday functions, the better it got. Like, it started tracking, the first night it tracked my sleep. It didn't track it very well, but, the longer I wore it, the better it tracked my sleep. The more it told me about my sleep schedule and how I was sleeping and everything, which I have a very strange sleep schedule. I'm a security officer. I work very odd hours. So it literally, it has no problem with keeping track of my sleeping. And it's accurate. I find it's pretty darn accurate. So, but it's a good little watch. I think I just put that on backwards. Yep, I did. So that's on upside down. But as you can see, I'm doing this one-handed. It's fairly easy to put on. Just drop it and it goes right on the thing. And then you just have to have something to brace your hand against, and it goes on fairly easily. Nope, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cover that, turn the screen off. But it stays on there pretty well. It doesn't come apart. The band is comfortable. It's a good watch. It'll track everything you need to know. So if you're looking for a decent tracking watch that tracks your, basically your day-to-day everything, this is something I recommend. It's the Gear Fit2 from Samsung. And it syncs very well with my Samsung phone. It did not have a problem whatsoever. So, again, it's something I'd highly recommend. So, go ahead and look that up and try it out.